Пам-пам. Битрейт высоковат? Что? Высоковат. Ну ладно. Жить можно. Я. Ой. Что у нас по квестам сейчас? Смотреть тело жертвы. В садовнице или в магазине Фритте. Настырный спирт. Окей. Надо позвонить и узнать, не Сильвия. Опа. Просто мусорка. 3 бутылки. Мне нужен пакет, понял. Что это значит? Ладно. Пистолет, полуобнаженная дама. Эпичные романы. Какой огонь. Паштеты. Не очень понятно, чем она. Да это не имеет значения. Ладно. По культуре Баядейра и не говорится о свободе собственности. Ладно. Там, как правительство считает твои мысли с помощью радиотехнологий. Бывает. Девочка,
Hello,
ты...
sir. Step right in. The store is open.
Магазин открыт, девочка с пухлыми, раскрасневшими щеками машет тебе рукой и улыбается, но с нее тоже покраснел от холода.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
Твоими ногами, чтобы согреться. О! Это же штука для голосований. Голосовать некому, правда. Можно задать тебе несколько вопросов.
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
Ходите же к нам, посмотрите на шторы.
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
А если не узнают, то вдруг они пропустят детективы, романы и биографии знаменитостей. Может быть, мне поговорить с хозяйкой магазина? Очень самого детства, очень усердно. Ужас. Может, мне поговорить с хозяйкой магазина?
No, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
Тягивается струнка, улыбается. Как маленький солдат. К тому же у меня тут в термосе горячий сок, чтобы согреться. Тебе не надо в
I do
школу?
my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a
Сейчас будет
proper worker
проверка.
is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
А, или нет. Нам говорит, что надо делать и то, и это, потому что это закаляет характер. Она говорит, что хороший работник должен быть усердным, только так преуспеешь в жизни.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
За этим словами скрывается напряжение и беспокойство. Ей сказали, что так правильно, и она просто это повторяет. Вот как.
Mum
идут
says it's
дела.
peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Что, правда, он говорит, будто бы он наглядывается проклят. Чувствую, все хорошо. Тут не о чем волноваться. А тут прям много места, где можно походить. Указатель «Северный объезд». Жилой комплекс, Кейп-Сад, причал Мартинеза. Объявление. Разбился окно, обратитесь к Тибису за новым. Если в руках был пакет, то бы мог собрать из этого бутылки.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use... Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
Что среди всей этой нищеты делает туристический аттракцион?
There was a revitalization project in 49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its
Восстановление
pre-war glory.
архитектуры.
It didn't stick.
Студия решила вернуть Мартинезу в былую довоенную роскошь, лейтенант оглядывается вокруг. Но проект не задался. Завершает он мысль.
They got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour.
Фонари и статуи
I
на том
suspect that
проспекте.
something was ever clear.
А в том, что
The
пошло
union
не
leader
так, то ничего
messed them
не
up.
было. Лично я подозреваю,
That's how it
что-то
usually
не
goes
так
around
пошли
here.
отношения с лидером профсоюза Эврамом Клэром. Он выдавил их отсюда по местному обыкновению.
We should have done something about the union 10 years ago.
Союзом надо
That
было
ship
делать
has
что-нибудь
sailed,
10 лет
officer.
назад. Этот корабль уже уплыл, офицер. Ладно.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inex. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Ну, бывает. Зато я пожалел бинокль. А что там? О? Слышу крики морских птиц вдалеке. О, деньги. Проходит линия. Отверстие от пуль. Ничего себе. Звучит жестко. Еще бинокль. Не работает. Технический вид тротуар треснул, словно яичная скорлупа, ничего себе.
This Postler Vantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the... A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant. The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and Saint G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
The
mail collection box seems cathartic. Thankful even. So do you.
Ладно.
You shudder.
Так. Открыто на зиму. Вообще это выглядит как главный вход, ну ладно.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheat.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on.
На минуточку.
Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm with his right foot. Quite a lot of time has passed.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you? No, not me. What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the court. No one calls the police. The union would get angry. You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the dock workers' union.
I don't know what to tell you, officer. I didn't call you because I didn't want to get in trouble with the others. With the union. I'm sorry about that. No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires.
Вот как.
People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the union's phone, or the one on the coast.
So the union has a phone, and there's one further down the coast. Got it.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Кто-то другой лейтенант делает пометку. Рано или поздно найдем. Просто это займет время.
Yeah, go on. You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
Why not?
What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of your business.
God, why can't you just mind your own business? She mutters.
Задница чужая.
I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again.
Видели мой пистолет. Бумаги оказались. Я, наверное, зря начал с жестких вопросов.
Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer.
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have been important to you in the past. Don't go there again.
You told me back in the whirling. You told everybody, and so does your badge. Oh, no, I haven't, sorry.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way.
Настоящие
Where's
полицейские
yours?
носят форму. А твоя где?
He's in plain clothes,
Гражданство.
voluntarily.
Сознательный
It's
выбор.
different from not knowing where your uniform
Безнадитка
is.
форма, дело другое. Ладно.
Please, no, not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and...
Оценили.
Great. Anything else?
Еще? Вы видели мою форму?
Uniform? I never saw you in any
Форму не
uniform.
видела.
You had your
Был
things on.
прикид. Ну,
The disco
диско
thing.
прикид. Справедливо. Мои бумаги оказались
Well,
на полке. Ну,
You tried to
пытались
jam it down
спустить
the
их в
toilet,
унитаз.
sir.
Полностью в
completely.
изобилие засоры
After I
прочистил,
had
бумаги
unclogged the
выбросила.
toilet and retrieved the
Думал, не
paperwork,
нужны.
I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective?
Ну, похоже, чтобы ее... Правда, было совестно. Еще что-нибудь. То сунула одежду с жертвы в мусор.
No, I don't
Не
know.
знаю, я не...
It wasn't me. I haven't been out there since. I was terrified of the stench and the corpse. I do hope so. Please don't call me
Пока.
again. Bye.
Ну почему действительно?
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the
Yes,
whirling in
yeah.
rags when she was still
Да,
working.
еще она работала в танцах.
I'm not mad. It's just
Я сижусь
you were so
просто.
drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skillet
Были
thing happened.
дым пьяный, потом еще эта
Just made me
история
want to
с
quit.
дворником. Я захотел себе бросить.
The stuffed bird, the great skua.
Чучело птицы,
You threw
большого
it against the
поморника.
wall while
Вы швырнули его в
screaming,
стену с
"Fuck
криком.
that bird," and laughing
Ага.
like a
При
maniac.
этом ходали как
I
умалишенные.
think you said it had
Правильно
been
помню, вы
giving
сказали,
me
что
shit
сам
ever since
ваш
you
приезд
got
до
there.
вас ужас. Да, звучит правдоподобно.
Didn't seem like you had fun doing it though.
You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the radio. Wordless, the call breaks. Then, the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Пускай будет
As
сохранено.
always, it's DJ Mesh and Felicio.
Ow.
And you're
A flock of seagulls takes off nearby, startled by the roaring radio. Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio.
Произносит.
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or
Должно
maybe
быть.
picked up a random frequency.
С рацией
You
или
wanted a
просто
prime line, right?
на линии, верно. Спидпанк FM, значит.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Закончил
57,
связь.
over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook.
Не
a
думаю,
pull-out
что мне сейчас
toolbox.
нужно что-то из ящика. Что-нибудь продолжить искать звонившего. Окей, найти второй ботинок. Из змеиной кожи потерялся. Брат, антипар. Причем неизвестный ботинок лучше, чем один. Антипар. Я реально без одного ботинка.
An old call box with a
звонок.
matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Привет, Nation Alerts. Что жестко? Ну да, жестко. Туда мне не попасть. Туда не попасть. Я неплохо. Вот. Решил запуститься, поиграть в диско Элизиум. Вот ботинок. Явно он. Мне нужен на второй этаж. И вот в какой-то веке освободился. Работа мучает. Делал просто пипец. Понимаю. Не сюдой. Тебя омывает порыв соленого ветра?
There they both are. Two identical shoes,
Некие
both
туфли,
copiously green
отменно
and
зеленые и
indiscriminately
бесстыжие зеленокожие.
snakeskin,
Не встретились снова
reunited on your
у
feet,
тебя на ногах.
like
Ура!
two baby
Так,
crocodiles.
также ремонт и перестановка. Замена проводки, сборка нового ПК. Вот как. Получается, ты обновку сделал? Поздравляю. Замена проводки — это ты ремонт делал, судя по всему. Ну вот, зато теперь ты можешь расслабиться, посмотреть, как я страдаю фигней в диско Элизиуме.
It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are.
Очевидно, что ты не рядовой коп.
Good, they're balanced, comfy.
Сидят
Feels like the
славно,
only
думаю,
good
громче,
thing
правда
about you
сказать,
right
они,
now, truth be told.
похоже, единственное, что у тебя сейчас есть хорошего. Ну, к сожалению, похоже на то. Так. По итогу во всем доме проводку менял. Оу. Вот как. Гард сказал вам, что какие-то буйные члены профсоюза собираются в обеденном зале танцев. Теперь сегодня их нет, но, скорее всего, рано или поздно не появится. Ну что подождать. Найдите свое удостоверение. Как вообще можно найти крышное удостоверение из пластмассы в таком огромном мире? Может, рано или поздно вы случайно запнетесь в него? Чудеса случаются. Я жду в мусор. Спросить Куна, не знает ли он что-нибудь об одежде жертвы. Попал в мусор. Так, Гард сейчас ближе. Теперь это... Девчачий чат? Уже соккупировали меня. О, Мех, привет. Кусь Крейзи. Как у вас дела у всех? О. На столе что-то есть. Очевидно. О. Тут что-то появилось. Им старается не смотреть на сломанную дверь в ванную.
Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just too morbid to ignore.
Тебе 2D-модель сделали? И кто это? Давай, делись, колись. Догис? Не знаю, кто это.
The man is finding it hard not to trip on the tape, and not to send any of the bottles rolling
И
across the floor.
чего? Дайкота матери? Что такое дайкота? Так, ему трудно удается пройти так, чтобы не забыться о пленку, и чтобы бутылки не покатились по полу.
Where unidentifiable sludge makes it hard for him to breathe.
К сожалению,
Smell
тяжело
of vomit
дышать,
in the air.
воняет. Да.
No
Или
problem,
бензин.
officer.
Так, ладно.
The bed is cold and not particularly.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
О, тут можно спать. А для вентилятора еще нигде нет выключателя.
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself
Ну,
to one
попробуем
of the
схватить
blades.
галстук.
You swoop up and catch the tie.
Успех.
Snap. It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose.
Не буду тянуть я за вентиляторы всякие. Внутренняя империя. Кошмарный галстук. Так. Так. Теперь у меня аишный мех. Скинешь этот в ЛС, как выглядит твоя моделька? Или ты сегодня запускаться будешь? Так, карт.
You should totally sing karaoke here.
Внутренняя империя.
The first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast oceanic soul.
И... Не обращать внимания.
Can I help you?
Буду. Окей, надо будет к тебе заглянуть. Вот ключ мусорного бака.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Свои действия, может, в его сне. Из твоих сотрудников мог бы их туда выбросить?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime
Он
scene.
тревожил бы сцену преступления.
The trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road.
Место из тех зацепок, что подвяжется само собой позже. Вот
Thank you
как.
anyway.
Спасибо.
Yes. Another thing. Great. I love those. What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. He wasn't pan-fried. He was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with... Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must.
Пошарить.
Yes?
Окей. До свидания. Где пистолет?
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Кто тут зайка?
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin.
Да, уж не ожидал я подкатов от бабули.
But dear, you're not for me. I'm too old and too married besides.
Я слишком замужем.
You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Вы похожи в кресле. Клянчение такое, не уверен, заметили вы, но я не знаю, где и что делать, да и вообще ничего не знаю.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
Не без тревоги. Ты купился? Прям в смысле потерял память. Надеюсь, вы правы. Только плохо.
Oh my. You know where we are, right? Yes, but more specifically on the coast of the city of Revachol, in the district of Martinez.
Мартинейс. Желанная столица мира. Как-то так. Если честно, или с маком. Я знаю про Ревашоль.
Yes, great. See? We're getting somewhere. What else do you know about our city of splendor? How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I.
Город в мире. Что мы здесь.
I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days.
Лицо, ты верно выглядишь совсем потерянным.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
О, вот как? Ручка с доброй зеленой обезьяной.
Her relief
Как
is
мило.
palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there. but now she relaxes her shoulders.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll
Что
just ask
устал?
one more question.
Задам последний вопрос.
What regime are
каком
we
мы-
living under? What mode of government?
В каком мы живем режиме? Какая у нас форма правления? Сказать, Макрей хочет ответить, что диктатура пролетариата, но что-то подсказывает, что и не так. Наши правители грозные войны, учащиеся гордые жеребцы. Это разумные машины. Приветствие снижает. Разум управляют при помощи радио. Связка нами правят копы. Нет, у нас скорее второй.
Oh, sweetie. It's really not.
Были бы те,
There used to be
думал,
people who
были
thought that way,
те,
other people who wanted
все
those
они
things,
вымерли.
but Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition.
А, вот
We
как.
have almost no government of our own, and certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat.
But they still have cops.
А копы все равно есть.
Oh dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't
Так
any
хорошо.
cops in Revachol, not in the
Нет коп-
traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution.
Самореволюция с правоохранительными предмет споров.
But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you
Пугало
really
понимаю.
are brain damaged.
Что, как я
You
справился?
were doing quite well up until the end there.
В конце,
It
кажется,
does
ты
look like
правда.
you're having trouble remembering things.
Я
History
своим
and
словом помню.
places. Remembering reality in a
Очень
word.
странно.
It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm
Правда.
no doctor, such
Как мы
bouts of
перевели
amnesia are
на
often
тему.
temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Переживал особо. Что
A
это?
defeat, I'm afraid. The
Прежде
people of
чем
this
пытались
archipelago
построить
tried to
нечто
build
новое,
something new,
альтернативу основному
something
миру.
different.
Не понравилось?
The
Что
rest of the
пришел,
world
все
didn't like it,
разрушил.
so they came and ended it.
42 года назад.
This was 42 years ago. Of course, sweetie, I really don't
Не
know
знаю,
how to
лучше
explain
объясни.
it better. Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
No. I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course.
Ужас.
Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez.
That's a good point. This doesn't look like
Явно
Rich
район для
Central.
богатеньких.
Of course, dear. Good luck with your case.
Что я получил? А, ручку с обезьянкой. Милашно. Так. Нам еще час надо что-то поделать. Но вот что? Монетки. Дошли руки до Римской империи. Я с грустью могу заявить, что он уничтожил не только болгаров, но и вообще всю Западную Европу. А все ради коричневого заката? В смысле? Это антистатичник. Человек сел незаметно, не окунул.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like
Представление о том,
politics, though.
что означает
Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time
антистачник.
to time.
Похоже, это говорит связано с политикой. Может, это имеет отношение к фляжке, с которой он себе...
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab.
Это может становится еще лучше. Ты не видел антистачника полицейского?
Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says,
Вы копы
let us
устраиваете
cop for less
забастовку.
money.
Тут приходят другие копы и говорят, теперь мы будем копами. За меньшие деньги. Смехается потом. Сознает
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strike?
Нашу трачку.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Убийца не стал бы. Прав, убийство почти невозможно скрыть. Может, ты поможешь мне? Расскажешь, кто это сделал?
Of course, policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
Был бы не я. Я можешь вычеркнуть. Видишь? Немного упростил тебе жизнь. Ну, сомнительно. Он этого не делал. Ну, круг подозреваемых не то чтобы сильно сузился. Должен знать, что с этими воротами. Не вырчешь. Что вообще устроили эту забастовку?
You know, serious business.
Ну, ты знаешь, что
I'm
дела
sure the big boss
серьезные,
will be glad
улыбается.
to tell you.
Ты
You'll have
спроси
to
нашу
ask him
шефа, он
first.
тебе наверняка радостно все расскажет.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike
Любит
too.
болтать, и
Just
его так и
can't break
тянет
the
поговорить
command
о
structure
забастовке.
until he's
Не
now.
может решать. Не сказать тебе об этом сейчас. Ну ладно. Слушал песню «Скованная одной цепью»? Нет. Так. За красным восходом розовый закат. Так вот, песня не подверглась цензуре и безначально напелась за красным восходом коричневый закат. Ой, говорят о том, что коммунизм, красный восход обязательно сменится в осуждаю коричневый закат. Вот как.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
Мужчина на порту врата.
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
То есть тут копы, широкоплечий главарь, поворачивается к тебе, как минимум на голову выше всех остальных. Кто здесь собрался?
You here to fuck with us?
Следился,
Beat
чтобы
the
устроить на
honest
проблему?
worker down.
С какой-то
We're
стати?
here to fight for a cause.
За правое дело,
Stripes
Андефайн
usually have
вечно
problems
препятствует
with
тем, у
people
кого
who
правое дело.
have causes.
Ладно, тогда, наверное, нет.
Good. We're fighting for a
Хорошо.
cause here.
Мы
Right
боремся за правое.
to work! Right to work! Besides, we're not that
Мы же
different.
мы с тобой в одной лодке.
It helps if people see us talking,
Очень
cops and strike
хорошо бы
breakers
люди
together.
видели, как копы
Shows
и что
authorities are on
там
our side.
стоят и о
builds
чем-то болтают.
confidence.
Доказывают, что власти на нашей стороне и перед уверенность. Нет, тебе есть вопросы.
Maybe you should ask them
Может,
the
ты им будешь
questions.
просто
Like,
задавать? Я
why we're
почему
not
позволено
allowed to make a living
зарабатывать
here?
здесь на жизнь?
Shame on you! We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
Допустим.
So do we, Scab.
А нам не надо? Ладно. Не очень хочу я пока с ними разбираться. Так. Если присмотреться, то, как правило, коричневый и черный используют для запрещенной идеологии балканского и те же самые чернорубашечники по всему миру считали себя ужас.
The tear machine stands in the corner.
Таро.
A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
На бутылку 10 минут.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. Their logo is the bloodless rose, pure
На розу
white,
белоснежная, ничего
untouched
не
by
тронуто.
harm.
Вот как.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
Простите, если вам нужно что-то из продукции. Мы не продаем рецептурные лекарства, но все есть эти и другие. Что эти препараты?
I don't know.
Не знаю,
Let's
давайте
see.
посмотрим.
Nosafed is
Спрей
a
для
nasal
носа,
spray.
отличное обезболивающее, магний,
Duramine is a
пищевая
really good
добавка.
painkiller.
100 грамм.
I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it
Нервная.
makes you feel less
Для того,
shit.
чтобы чувствовать
It's
себя
recommended to
не
use
так
after
плохо,
lots of
рекомендуется использовать
partying,
после
studying, or
учебы.
exercising.
Вопрос.
No, sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything.
Я не доктор.
Nosafed heals +1 health. Duramine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale.
А, вот как.
Hypnogamma heals +3 morale.
Понятно.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
Какой товар на полках, она снова кается в журнал.
What's that magazine she's reading?
Что
You
это
mean
за
this?
журнал? Этот? Смотри на обложку с кричащей фотографией двух целующихся девушек.
This is
What?
Pop Stars. It's got like famous people in it. It's not.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
Интересно.
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish.
Определяют, кто самый стильный. Я козырек. Спорь, твой козырек выиграл бы.
No. I don't like it.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
Тебе вопросы.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but...
She looks up from her magazine, eyes filled with tired ennui.
Yes, what we have is there, in the medicine cabinet. Go take a look yourself. I don't really know anything. I
Ничего
mean,
не
I
знаю.
know it's
То, что
there,
он типа
but
есть, но
I haven't
сама не
seen it,
видела.
so
Так что... Ты знала
not
покойного?
really.
Не особо, значит, немного знала.
No, I didn't
Еще
know
не
him at
знала.
all. I
Давно
don't
это?
know really
Очень давно, нет?
long.
Что потом произошло?
I don't know.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Всегда вопрос. Нам знать хорошо.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Ну ладно.
Reality. You mean what reality?
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher. Can she answer the classroom question?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15.
Ну, ладно.
I don't know. What about it? We're in
Тема.
for it
Ладно.
as mankind or as a nation or...
What will her essay prompt be?
Было бы тема.
In a good
Человечество.
place.
Период прогресса.
I mean, science is doing
Типа
great,
наука идет
and
вперед.
this radio computer thing seems to be kind of big.
Точно такое не
I
знаю.
don't know.
Да уж. Ох уж эти школьники. Сколько
I don't
времени?
know. Look at the clock. It's right behind you on the wall.
The clock shows the time at 10:09. The hands seem to be still.
Да, на моих
It's
часах
apparent the clock
12:22.
doesn't work.
Что такое
When
революция?
ordinary people take over the government and
Демократия.
demand democracy. Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. At history, I mean. Our government?
Наше правительство.
Or do you mean something
Прошу
else?
только извиняюсь.
Sorry,
очень
I
нужно
really
дочитать
need to
статью.
finish this article. Cool.
Наша тыр нигде.
A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles. The bottles wink at you in the light. The smokes too glitter in their wrapping. It's like looking into a kind of heaven. There, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
Ужас. Не надо такого. А тут что у нас?
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display. The packages are small, discreet,
Дождевик?
sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to
Вряд ли
worry
я
about
смогу
knocking
сделать.
over a display. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and
Okay. Don't, like, overdo it or something.
Все, теперь можем вернуться к жертве. Капец, не прошел стойкость, теперь пришлось потратить целый 1 реал. Из 7. Это теперь понятно. Фри-Т. 3Т.
there he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does. You crack open the ammonia
я смог.
and breathe in. The odor of death is still stronger. It's a spell of the mind
Тютелька в
telling you to
тютельку.
run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your eyes squinting, you stand in it. It's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattoos, and tendons. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
Что, строго говоря, это не ботинки, а сабатоны?
Oh, the lieutenant uses a memo technique A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic.
Классика.
It's clearly some manner of super armor or future armor. Super future armor. I'm useless.
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
Стекловидная эмаль. Продвинутые технологии.
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days.
Почему ботинки не украли, я не знаю.
We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
Материал выглядит здесь неуместным.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics. For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 rial, unadjusted for rank.
Кивнуть ботинками.
Not too much, yes.
Да, не так уж много. Единственное, что я не могу поверить, счет за гостиницу.
It's a sorry situation, I agree.
Хочу посвятить себя.
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
Что в подозрительном отчете?
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
Ладно.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony, perhaps. If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like. The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination, E50, 100, 1000.
Good. Can you read it to me?
X54156745678222.
Зачем?
Let's lie.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes.
Stop!
Ничего себе.
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal! What's wrong with you, asshole? Why's he letting Goku know?
I don't know, baby. I don't know why he's such a
Officer, if I may ask, what were you trying to achieve by putting on the deceased foot?
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt.
Ё-моё, это был
His
только
torso
ботинок.
covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under six-rotor airships.
Воздушными судами. Угу.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
На грузовиках. Посему это армированная версия для перевозок. Там говорит мой мозг.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
В собственном алиби. Контрамером с длинными волокнами.
The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
Еще забастовка.
Okay, you should ask me for one the first moment we get.
Кстати, об этом. К ним вообще туда его подняли. Ну, очевидно, по лестнице.
I was afraid it would be.
Давид боялся.
Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
Будет проблематичнее, чем я полагал.
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way
проще
around.
затягивать с одной стороны. Указывает на пряжу, которая удерживает ремень на ветке. Детская лестница.
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Закинь петлю на ветку, потом тяну ремень, пряжешь, закрылась. Тянет ремень.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
Поддержку этой теории.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. Limp, an intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso. From the right shoulder to the solar plexus, each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
A map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great Century Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular, customized somehow.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates, and you feel as though you were only half right.
So am I.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
Не хочу потратить их впустую.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
Толстый, лоснящийся. Ладно.
In case we need it.
Лейтенант. Схема груди погибшего.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Его письмо нам. Кому-то, кто сможет расшифровать. Нужно показать это изображение другим. Я посмотрел позже. Без трудного спрада.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper. Teeming with opportunities, his eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. These eyes used to be blue, baby blue. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
С помощью внутренней империи можно такие штуки вытворять?
The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build. Good. The victim is of Occidental descent. Light brown hair, blue eyes.
When he says Occidental, he means white. Originally from the Occidental subcontinent on Muindi. The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench. Eyes like a shark. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of... This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Положение в момент смерти. Краски пятен.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally dead.
Точно труп. А я и не понял. Слишком громоздко.
Sure, the corpse looks by, oblivious. Black decay liquid drops from his knee to his boot.
Пребывал в вертикальном положении кожи нога. Потерял цвет.
Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports her hanging. There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
Ну, кстати, действительно, его могли сначала задушить, а потом повесить.
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
It means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
Ужас.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
Did we? I don't feel lucky.
Это сарказм.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once it's done.
Может казаться, что мы что-нибудь упустили. Думать затем сверять с своими записями. Тщательно подготовились.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
Блин, я хочу попробовать. Не, мы же сейчас его снимем. Серьезное затруднение. Нес болторез, но не пойму, с какой стороны нам лучше подойти.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
Такой серьезный просто не сильнее, чем он ожидал.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Ни вам, ни мне не достать. Даже если достанем, становится еще как раз есть прочный материал, созданный для применения в воздушных перевозках. Мы можем отпилить ветку.
Climb up there and saw the branch? There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees. Someone else? You mean like the police?
Кого-нибудь, кто ниже детектива по званию.
Someone like a paid garbage man? Or a cleaning crew? I have bad news for you. That is a detective.
Ты и есть детектив.
I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down fast.
У нас получится отстрелить ремень. Отстрелить его точно не получится.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
With a buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
На ветке, целься туда. На эту точку. Там пряжу удерживает ремень.
Where?
Где?
Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno.
Пусть сам решает, он не тупой.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. Securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger. The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as...
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight.
Fucking idiot! Mukabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he? Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano Clad.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose it.
They only have one gun.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Взгляды, а?
Fucking banana poika. Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth.
Взвести. Лучше направить.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss. Or what? You gonna fuck me? You wanna fuck me, pig? Is that what this is about?
Сначала закрыть левый
Your
глаз.
field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers. The slow movement of the branch in the wind, and your shoulders directing the gun sink up, dancing hypnotically.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
Я боюсь, если я направлю на куну, я случайно могу выстрелить. А? Не повезло.
A plume of smoke erupts. Your hand goes numb from the explosion. With your ears still ringing, you missed the belt, but hit the corpse straight in the chest. Bits of ribcage protrude from the skin. No blood, only a murky sludge dripping down his belly. The sudden stink makes your eyes water.
Oh my god, he's gonna fucking cry! I knew it! What a mull!
Ask for another shot. You'll get it with the next one. The goddamn light reflected off some window. Surely.
I agree. Police work is overrated. It is trying and stressful. However, it is still our job to get the dead body down from the tree.
Наша работа.
It's not the gun's fault you can't shoot. It's your pig hands.
Pigs don't have hands. They have, like...
Fuck. Kuno has hands. Kuno can shoot that shit down for you.
That's preposterous! What are you, a fucking earl?
We still need to get him down somehow. The bad way. The way I didn't want us to.
Плохой способ, которым я не хотел прибегать.
By asking the harbor for help.
Какой-нибудь.
They have the tools and the men. If they put him up there,
инструменты,
they can take him down
смогли
too.
повести его, смогут и снять. Разве это не
To ask the
опасно?
suspect for help with the victim's body,
Ой, чтобы
to be indebted to Everard Clare,
реклама
very
даже-
much, yes.
О, да.
Which is why I would have preferred
Что
us to
поэтому
handle this
поэтому
ourselves.
хочу бы. Сами.
Clearly we can't.
Мы, очевидно, не можем.
Suck my dick, bitches!
The leader of the union, a dangerous and corrupt man, from what I hear. You don't want to owe him
Слышал,
much.
что становится его должником.
Yeah?
Понятно.
Don't go being someone else's bitches. You're Kuno's bitches.
From the gates, by negotiating or fighting. I'm unenthusiastic about fighting. Or we can try to find some secret third path. It's unlikely though.
Вот что маловероятно, конечно.
To the gates. Let's negotiate.
Что за дело?
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and
Oh.
white boots.
Какой там уровень
The
сложности?
man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled, with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. On his chest, a fading web of tattoos. The cargo belt used to hang him from the tree looks reinforced. As you narrow, this is a trick. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash. The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo.
О! Конечно, меня здесь нет. Опа! А где ты?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Где это?
In the past, way out in the west.
Нет, ну кто там?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
Это... Был прежде убийцей.
A motherfucker. Go ahead, Cobbo. What do you mean?
Я с тобой разговариваю.
It's the power of your...
На губах.
Imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions? Here you go, you loony. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. No, you don't. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry. Because you have. Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure wriggled out of that one, Coppellini. Come back later, Corpo. Of course, you have questions, don't you? The power of your imagination. What do you mean? Ask me more questions. You come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible.
Привет. Ладно. Девственный часть брони, о серийном номере. Татуировки. Труп из дерева. Пойдем сейчас Лукуна спросим.
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it? Look at that fucking shit! You're trying to get Kuno killed! Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it, Kuno!
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Areopagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Areopagites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Yeah, her. What was she doing in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of gardening is done in March? Fish is sometimes used to fertilize the soil a few weeks before planting something. Maybe she was preparing the garden beds.
Требуем, может, он готовил грядки.
Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Suspicious.
That's just some shit roofing gimps left behind. Lazy dinks.
He's hiding something.
Что скрывает?
Pig, if Kuno was hiding something, it would be hidden.
But it is not hidden, is it, sire? You picked up on it. You should examine the pile of roofing material again.
Окей, глянем еще раз.
Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen, listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there, dumpster diving. Sad shit. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real.
500 реалов.
You'd
А
have
ты
to be
немного
blind
хочешь?
not to notice the giant white letters FALN running down his trouser leg.
Извините.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for that up there. Now you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
Whatever. Kuno was trying to help you, but you're too fat for fouling anyway, pig. The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug fucker, 'cause he's the clothes fucker?
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator. Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious. He likes putting two and two together.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Эмпатии мало. Привет, Мирп. Ударим диско по элизиумной реальности.
Kuno doesn't...
Это
An
вещь не просто
inconspicuous
так.
pile of the roofing material, eternite. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of eternite. That's why they're too orderly.
Ложно так аккуратно.
There it is. You see a shabby little door.
Ух, она чуть на ноги прям не упала.
What is this then? A tool shed?
Сохранение сметов.
Let's investigate.
Тогда идем. Упаковка от многих добавки. 0 грамм. Магниевая добавка, которая втирает в кровь, организм насыщается магнием. Жизнь прекрасна. Вот как. Верхняя тарелка, что-то порошка.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine.
Ужас.
The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Точки зрения.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Немного реалов. В общем, нет. Заполнен дождевой водой. На это я посмотреть не могу. Ладно. Прям скоро обвалится. Внешремонтная подпорки. Открытый кран купон. Игра как-то прикручена к стриму? Да. Я могу сделать так, чтобы вы могли выбирать, чтобы, типа, какой вариант не стоит выбрать в диалоге. О. Тихо. Сюда. Так. Ну да. А больше-то и никак. А, тут есть лестница, по которой можно забраться. Окей. Ладно, сейчас мы позвоним и пойдем осмотрим кухню. Я думаю. Не знаю, у вас там что-то появляется, когда я эту кнопку нажимаю?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Sir, officer. What's the number? And the maker... Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Israeli law enforcement service, the crown jewel in the moral intern's diadem, alongside EPIS and the coalition government.
Okay.
57, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of
Все, теперь на кухню. Осмотримся там.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Goranci and Kubek. Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Goranci Kubek. Please. It's not funny. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's
Судя по всему, на улицу.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Yes, I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in. Just to be thorough. As a side investigation.
It's hardly a side investigation. You already have a name for it.
Даже и название придумал, в смысле.
Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
The door does not budge. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined. Whatever is behind it must be older.
В полуразрушенное здание ведет, значит.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love that. Oh, yes, that door. Sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door. No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that. Yes?
Так, нам еще во фритте надо.
Is this about the questions again? because I don't really know anything. A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what for it does.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. For it doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay? I don't really know anything. I mean,
Мне аж интересно, что вы видите, когда я нажимаю эту кнопку. Так, секунду. Привет, Алис. Как у тебя дела? Ого. Такой большой КД. О, вы можете посмотреть мои какие у меня задания и все. Вот это прикольно. Так. Что за награда? Обнять стримера. Спасибо за обнимашки, Алис. Пат-пат. Так.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all.
The place looks the part. There's graffitio everywhere, and the traffic jam behind you is completely unregulated.
Of course. What can I help you with? Well, this might be the last snow we get. At least I hope so. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring. At least that's what my grandma always told me.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow. Stop looking at her. Look around. What do you see?
Ты видишь.
That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbor gates. This is a great vantage point for keeping an eye on you.
Мне кажется, оно сбивает меня.
Now you know the locals are keeping tabs on you.
Ужас.
Of course. Where to? There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really. The harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too. The harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't. Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably. Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market, but that got closed down ages ago. It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach. What do you mean? We're in Martinez, sir. This intersection is called Roundabout North, I think. No problem.
She's very well composed. Back straight.
Excuse me? Oh, well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here. Okay. Of course. I won't hold you back.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the autopsy.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Это полезно. Так. Эквилибристика. Тень. Угу. Думаю, надо довести базовые до 5 хотя бы. Типа вот тут уже все 5. Можно вот это довести до 5 и думать о физиологии. Так, сейчас 2 часа дня. Что у меня по зданиям? Свое удостоверение. Надо попросить Кима.
Yes?
No response. He just arches his brow. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs? Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Not a fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personal affairs. Even you know this.
Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
What do you want to know? No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
The lieutenant adjusts his collar. It doesn't look like he wants the case to be more mysterious.
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
Воу, понял.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. That's good. What's there to say? It's just stupidity. The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the industrial harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion. Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary, somewhere in your mind hangs a dark green blackboard. There are two columns. One says, cases solved. The other, confirmed kills.
Yes, I'm an unrepentant spoilsport.
The rows are endless. Jean Vicmer, Judith Minot, a special consultant. What was his name? Then the rows degrade into green nothingness.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to slight Precinct 57. Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late wearing piss-stained disco garb. You weren't sent here to win.
I've considered it. It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional, but I also think it's somewhat unlikely. I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win. Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise. What do you want to know? Ah, yes. The case brief you missed. Now I remember. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city.
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizens Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of Revachol. The RCM operates within a legal twilight, yet its authority is rarely questioned. It's super useful to know this.
That's right. You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? There's no reason to wing anything. If you didn't get the brief, that's okay. I did. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report. During that time, the victim had... Okay then. Was there anything else you want? Good. Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct tend to move a bit erratically. They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers.
Yes, but containers contain things, shiny things. They're interesting.
I don't know. Containers contain, I guess. I'm making assumptions. We should move on.
Так, знаете информацию. В конце дня. Татуировки жертвы. О том, что надо значить эти татуировки. Топ-серия. Найти вход в потайной коридор. Так.
old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer." As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, he blew through the whole. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall. Philip III's ludicrous bronze likeness looks defiantly up into the sky.
Глядишь, может, когда-нибудь я оплачу комнату. Уже 10 реалов заработал. Нам бы на крышу сейчас подняться. Потом можно с забастовками поразбираться. Вскрыть, не выбить. Да пока рано. Туда никак не попасть. Чудесный громила?
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al-Ghul.
Al-Ghul?
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning. Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race.
Ужас.
You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great... You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit, you will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the... Bring your troops to the Semenine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, the walls will be...
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Measurehead's race theory. He would take you as one of his own. Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist. Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then, to you, he lets out an audible
You are obviously a liberal, Sayolite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on? Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and
Не очень хочу об этом слушать.
has led the Mound on reprehensible street parades. In Mound cities like Stadskanal, you know them by...
Mahun is a derogative term for first world people of Gotvoldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and in some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green.
The Mound are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clogs too.
The Vespertines and the other large overproduction of sebum. Sebum, as proven by the Mound and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in retro.
Я их вообще не
The Simonese and the Areopagite. The latter is perfected. Type B are the
Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white, officer, in a suspect district.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear pinkness. The Khoi...
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
They are microscopic. The Semen, its leader, never show...
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening. but that seems a little off.
The revolution came to enough of Tibet mediocrity. Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic lesser the mesquite.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
Then there is the Simino Koiki Kaimira. Are you this but enough? It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Tipse F. Were there any able-bodied races you needed to do? You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone we will.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way in, without becoming a race theoretician.
Да, чуть не хотелось бы.
Lost, though. Buckle. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup.
He had nothing to do with it.
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the fritter nearby. He must think redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be smaller.
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizoitism. This leads me to conclude you are not. Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all also to serve.
He looks to.
We still need to get into.
Тяжко.
Yes?
В итоге мы как-то ничего и не добились.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you? Body still hanging in the tree? Hey, that's a rough pickle. Can't help you with that, sorry. I'm not really an admirer of dead bodies. Might be someone else from the Union can render assistance. I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
If it's all so simple, why don't the strikebreakers just go up the stairs?
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semenese supremacist up there. Walk right past him. Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again. And you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best measure head in a physical confrontation.
Ah, no.
Or you could convert to a Semenese supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible. Not yet, no. Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition. Sure. Sorry. Busy surveying the situation. I'm sure you'll figure something out. You guys have all sorts of gadgets these days. Wiretapping, telescopic batons, futuristic circuit bending to infiltrate harbor machinery. Maybe you could even knock that Kowalson crane over using some remote controls. Or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right?
Because we don't. We don't have air support or any of those other things.
I get it. Hush hush about the secret technology. Alright, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there, out of solidarity to the RCM. It's low in technology, however. First, don't fight him, obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically, grove him. That's how I do it. You're welcome.
Maybe that would work. We'll have to see.
Ну, можно попробовать еще раз. Хотя, мне кажется, я уже зафакапился.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. There is nothing funky about them. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease?
В принципе.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you.
Очевидно.
You have really let yourself go.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand, and he's squeezing it.
You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk. Say it.
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe...
The words to the song have changed. Say, I am a violent drunk.
Your hand twists in his grip, and the pain blinds you. Still, you press the words out of your swollen.
Good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic organization any further.
Ну, было очевидно.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't force us into situations where I may have to shoot random civilians, because that won't get us anywhere. I'm not even sure the one bullet my chamber holds would even prick that Hulk. There must be some other way. Let's go see the yard again. It faces the other end of the harbor. We're done with Measurehead here. Let's think of something else.
Это было ожидаемо, конечно. Левый порог.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat boss.
I know nothing about a murder. Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive. Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
Let us work! Not before you get in there and get your ass whooped. Learn by failure, I always say. He might have some advice, but you got to at least try to fight Measurehead first. Return if you fail.
Я выбрал не ту специальность, чтобы драться тут, поэтому нет.
A Stars Riker, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. No response wherever this woman.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Да.
There are clothes in... Save the economy. That sounds off. You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments. The box smells like cat piss, or like an old person with no money.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand.
No good. All you can come up with are some treated wool pants. You can...
No luck? Why not take another look, officer? Keep supporting the economy.
You see a samurai. The name?
Happy shopping, officer.
There's a pile.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the lid.
These are all boring. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the...
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool.
No luck.
Oh, that visor is perfect.
Hey, at least it might actually offer some protection against the sun. Not like those cheap plastic shades.
I hope not.
You don't like it? Sure, Square Joe. No problem. Let's get you some real shades.
G'day to you, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife.
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of dead. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Sure thing.
It is salty. It is savory. It is chewy. The hangover...
Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably will...
Лучше не пытаться, потому что, наверное, оно сломается. А, я зашел в чей-то дом просто? Или это...
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you? I haven't had any problem.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe. Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what? Feeling warm and
Почему на этом не везет, она вот какую-то...
while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street. A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Why on earth? These are prescription. I can't really see without them. Rolodon is just something you know, since the People's Power disaster. I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. Had to take it for radiation sickness.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. So I came to Martinez. People told I like the theory more.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Ё-моё.
Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you once had as a police officer, you're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
Капец. Один вариант лучше другого.
Fuck me? Please leave the rage you have for after we finish the investigation.
Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following.
Что это была концовка?
G'day to you, officers.
Капец.
It's not often. What can I do for you? I have it.
Who are you?
All kinds. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to... It keeps me...
He's well composed, entertained. He might be high. If feeling warm and a drug...
Why on earth? There's a prescription. I can't I was with...
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain.
The clean... So I came to Martinez. I like the...
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind. My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or...
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Of course. Have you tried it before?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Looks, he won't be your nog, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
If you say so, here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained Parolidon. Straight into your gut.
Блин, мне не очень нравится эта штука, типа... возможно, она меня убьет, но... С другой стороны, это может быть бесплатное восстановление боевого духа. Тяжко. По идее, у вас же сейчас должно быть голосование на Твиче. Не вижу, как можно проголосовать, но ладно.
Of course. I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for...
He doesn't know anything.
The corpse behind the hostel, I assume. I don't have a truck with a mounted plate. Ask around the harbour. There might be some workers there who'd be willing to...
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colours.
Sure thing. Sure, man. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Мне кажется, он это покупает не слишком хорошо.
Another time.
А зачем я это получил? Ладно. Пускай будет.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you. A giant sword in each, the antlers on the hood of the man's cloak, and his piercing blue smells like worn cotton and a little old sweat there. Worn cotton with a side of flea market or trash bin.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving your photon emissions in the fabric of things you're not going to buy. 2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
But why? I sympathize, I do. But this is a for-profit enterprise.
Это выглядит полезным для драки, но... Ну, потом. Когда-нибудь.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved. One is just make sure it works before you buy it. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the... Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse?
Oh, that's the headless phone rider. The headless phone, 50 cents.
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the...
Что отвечать за боевой дух? А, ну вот, боевой дух, сила воли. Надо прокачать. Ну, как-то не прикольно вообще.
Life? I'll be...
Have you no shame? What? René, I'm trying...
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot. No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
О, я смог кинуть шар.
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter. You'll make it work. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. Time has frozen. The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory. Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating. until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball is ready.
Я его просто выкинул.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
A whorehouse of shit? It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters. Probably 24, and then some. Nothing.
What the hell is your problem?
Он сейчас побьет?
I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful. You vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 bull. Yes, pétanque. You ruined our pétanque game. We want our bull back.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn bull. Good. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us?
Yes, why did you come here? You never know. He might know something. This is a good vantage point.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely. In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties. I know the kind. Gaston here is the same. A weather vane. Never stood up for anything in his life either.
Oh, René. If you only knew life beyond confrontations, conflict, and extremities.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
Копа типа это прикольно, но не прикольно.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building. You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls all over Martinez. Weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling.
О! Привет.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back.
Так пусть повернется.
Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Действительно.
Pigs come to take me out, trying to snuff me out. Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever.
Да.
There must be another way into the building.
Ё-моё. Кун, ты когда стал этот... Или ты Кицураги? Неважно, когда ты стал роботом. Меня напугал.
Hey, up here, Piggo. The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. Ask away, Pigman, but I don't promise to answer.
A brush, an artist. The red splatter is urban expressionism.
I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. Its moneyed residents used to posh restaurants and upscale booths.
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her. Watch your back, ungulate. You've got...
Тут все грубое.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the... A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel, there is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual.
Серьезно?
But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Графомания? В смысле? Ты о чем? Привет, коты.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic. It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation and the full cooperation of the Wild
Да,
Pines group.
я мучаюсь. Я не люблю новеллы, не люблю читать. В 3 страницах текста. Да, иногда тут такое есть, но я скипаю.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57.
О, я не нашел свое удостоверение.
And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. Feelings will guide the way.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible. Trust me, officer, I am fully committed to resolving this impasse. This isn't some side gig for me.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
Officer. You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting in. Somehow.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something tangible. The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbour. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not
так. Я еще не забанен? Тошик плохо работает. Тошик отдыхает.
Honestly, I was expecting you to use
Не
your
надо на неё
unorthodox
тут.
technique to keep her off balance, and you know, not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
Слишком много воли даешь? Тоше? Или этой девушке? Слишком расслабил? Не надо так говорить, КТ. Тоша свободная, независимая драконитка. У меня нет никаких прав ее принуждать к чему-то.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all. No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence.
Драконитка. Человек-дракон.
You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes. After they clear the
While
We're in logistics. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Передачи, грузовики на перекрестке.
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking...
How convenient that they're stranded like beached whales at that roundabout.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
Ну, вообще-то я тоже драконит, если что.
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight, upstream where it's clearer.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
Понятно.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM.
Well, here's your chance, officers. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you. The two might even be connected.
А, вот как.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done. Yes? Excellent. It may come to nothing, or in the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Сколько можно? Я устал. Устал. Всего 3 часа. Я как будто, я не знаю, гигантский роман прочитал. Почему я не могу? А, потому что диалоги.
Of course.
Ой. Хватит с меня на сегодня. Так, надо бы вас в рейд отправить. Давайте к меху. У него там моделька новая, он говорил. Получается, тоже Кикон. Она драконитка. И я драконитка. Почему развелось? Нас тут не так много. Меня обманул, у него нет новой модельки. Пишите в чат давай модельку. Вот так, чтобы он чтобы он знал, с кем имеет дело. Блин, сейчас. Давайте нападаем на него все вместе.